and he's looking forward to getting out, which is the most positive.
Behind the towering gates and the glimmering gold trim of Buckingham Palace lies more than just royal luxury and tradition. The life behind those walls is more complex, more hidden, and perhaps even more unsettling than we realize. And now, Prince Edward, one of the quieter members of the British royal family, has dropped a series of cryptic hints that are shaking the palace to its core. These hints reveal things about the palace that could change everything we thought we knew. So, why is Edward speaking out now? And more importantly, what shocking secrets have been kept under wraps for years? Edward, known for his calm demeanor and steadfast loyalty, has always been a figure of stability within the royal family. Unlike some of his more high-profile siblings, Edward has remained largely controversy-free, quietly going about his royal duties with grace. But his recent decision to leave Buckingham Palace has left the public and the royal community stunned. Edward is known for his quiet nature, so when he makes a move like this, we have to ask, what could possibly compel him to step away from the institution that has been at the very heart of his life for so long? Is there more going on behind the scenes than we've been led to believe? Let's delve deeper into the mystery surrounding Prince Edward's decision and explore the shocking truths that are hiding just beneath the surface of royal life. The secrets behind Buckingham Palace's gilded walls. To the outside world, Buckingham Palace is the epitome of grandeur, a living symbol of power, tradition, and legacy. It represents everything the British monarchy stands for, from the centuries-old royal protocols to the endless stream of visitors and media attention. But for those who live inside its walls, life isn't as perfect as it seems. Sure, the palace is a place of opulence and history, but behind the polished facade lies something else entirely. The palace is a place of immense pressure, unspoken tensions, and unyielding public expectations. For many, living within the palace's walls can feel stifling, like being trapped in a gilded cage. The weight of tradition is overwhelming, and the endless responsibilities of royal life often seem to take precedence over everything else. For someone like Prince Edward, who has always valued balance, simplicity, and personal peace, it's not hard to see how this environment could become too much. The rigid protocols and the constant media scrutiny could have driven him to make this bold move. Was leaving Buckingham Palace his way of reclaiming some semblance of peace in a world that has become increasingly chaotic? The cryptic clues. What's he really saying? As if his sudden departure wasn't enough of a shock, Prince Edward has recently made some cryptic comments about the secrets of Edinburgh. Comments that have sparked endless speculation about what he may know. Could these secrets be tied to the legacy of his father, the Duke of Edinburgh? Or do they point to deeper, more complicated family dynamics within the royal palace itself? Edward, always the observant one, has been privy to details that many others might miss. His calm, steady nature means he's always paying attention, taking in more than he lets on. So why speak up now? Why reveal these secrets, especially when the royal family has always valued privacy above all else? Could these remarks be a sign that Edward is trying to shed light on something hidden, something the public has been kept in the dark about for far too long? These cryptic comments have raised more questions than answers. And while Edward's words may seem harmless on the surface, there's a clear implication that there's something bigger at play here, something hidden beneath the perfect image that the monarchy presents to the public. Could this be his way of signaling a shift in the royal family? Or is he simply tired of keeping these truths to himself? A life outside the palace, finding balance. For much of his life, Edward has sought a delicate balance between royal duty and personal peace. Unlike some of his family members, he and his wife Sophie have chosen to raise their children in relative privacy, away from the constant media attention that often surrounds the royal family. Their home at Bagshot Park is a far cry from the grandeur of Buckingham Palace, offering a quieter, more peaceful life. But now, with Edward's departure from the palace, many are wondering, is this decision about more than just a desire for a quieter life? Could it be that Edward is seeking to create a future for his family that's centered around happiness and personal fulfillment, rather than the relentless demands of royal life? We often think of royals as being bound by duty and tradition, but Edward's move seems to suggest something else. That even those born into royalty need to step back from time to time and reassess their priorities. Is Edward trying to send a message to the world that even the most dedicated royals need to find peace outside the palace walls? A personal loss, the catalyst for change. In recent years, the royal family has endured significant losses. Losses that have undoubtedly affected everyone involved, but perhaps none more so than Edward. The passing of his father, Prince Philip, in 2021 was a deeply personal blow for Edward, who had always shared a special bond with his father. Prince Philip's legacy was something Edward worked tirelessly to continue, especially through the Duke of Edinburgh's Award, a program that has had a lasting impact on countless young people around the world. But the grief didn't stop there. In 2022, the world lost Queen Elizabeth II, and for Edward, this was another heartbreaking moment. As the dust settled after these monumental events, it's possible that Edward began to reevaluate his place in the monarchy. The deaths of two of the most important figures in his life may have prompted him to reconsider his priorities, what really mattered, and what he could do moving forward. Could Edward's decision to leave Buckingham Palace be his way of preserving his parents' legacy while also safeguarding his own well-being and that of his family? After all, Edward has always been committed to duty, but as he's grown older, it seems he's also become more focused on finding a life that aligns with his values and his sense of self. A royal legacy. What does the future hold? Throughout his life, Edward has shown a strong commitment to the royal family, balancing tradition with a more modern approach. His work with charities, especially the Duke of Edinburgh's Award, has showcased his desire to make a real, tangible difference in the world. But now, as he steps away from the palace, there are questions about what this means for his future role. Can he continue to uphold his father's legacy while living outside the palace? It's possible that Edward is not stepping away entirely, but rather redefining his place within the royal family. Instead of abandoning his responsibilities, he might be paving the way for a more relatable, modern version of the monarchy, one that adapts to the changing times while still honoring its rich history. This could be Edward's vision for the future, a royal family that still has a place in the world, but one that doesn't have to be confined to the rigid structures of the past. For Edward, Buckingham Palace has always been more than just a home. It's been a place where he grew up, learned about royal duty, and embraced the responsibilities of being part of one of the most famous families in the world. But the palace also represents the pressures and sacrifices of royal life. The grandeur of the palace comes at a high price, and for Edward, it seems that price became too much to bear. His departure might be a reflection of the need for change, not just for him, but for the monarchy as a whole. The turning point for the monarchy. Prince Edward's decision to leave Buckingham Palace isn't just a personal one. It's a turning point for the monarchy. Is he stepping away to protect his peace? Or is he signaling deeper issues within the royal family? Could this be the beginning of a shift in how the monarchy functions in the modern world? Only time will tell what the true implications of Edward's departure will be. But one thing is certain, the world is watching, and the royal family's future is in the spotlight. Could this be the start of a new era for the monarchy? One where personal well-being and family values are just as important as tradition and public duty? What do you think? Is Prince Edward stepping away to preserve his peace? Or are there deeper issues at play? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to stay tuned for more royal revelations in our next video. This rewritten script provides a fresh and engaging narrative, expanding on the emotional and personal aspects of Edward's decision, and maintaining the intrigue of the original story. Let me know if you'd like further adjustments.